Coach Gattis. I'm Susan from
Hey, Susan, how you doing? Pleasure. First time meeting everybody.
What's your first impression when you see what you have going on here with talent?
Our first impression right now is just to establish a culture that we need to, practice at a very high level. You guys have seen kind of the end of practice, how it goes. It's all about intensity, effort, execution, fundamentals. And so right now, that's what we're just trying to establish. If we can establish the culture, that'll carry over into the season and allow us to be the team we need to be. But we still got a ton of work to do, and we're working hard. And that's the thing I do appreciate our guys. They've been very coachable. They're really taking on a lot, just learning how to practice the way that we want to practice. And so I've been pleased so far, but we still got a long way to go.
Can you talk a little bit about the process you're going through installing a new offense and how much you hope to get done in spring?
Yeah, it's a completely new offense for everyone learning-wise, concept-wise, what we're asking them to do, even for the quarterback. And so we've got great teachers. First, our offensive coaches have done a tremendous job teaching our system so far. And that's the thing that I really feel blessed about is to have the offense staff that we have, the chemistry, the camaraderie that we have in that room. We got great teachers, great developers, and so our kids are open to learning. So we're asking them to learn new things. But most importantly, spring is about development. So it's about learning the hows and the whys, the footwork, the fundamentals, the technique and details to allow them to be successful in the fall.
So how much can you get installed over the course of the spring?
Yeah, the spring is about creating two things, right? Mentality and identity. Right now, our effort and how we practice creates our mentality. What we do on offense will be our identity. We're taking a little bit slower path as far as creating the identity of our offense. And we're going to build it around, what our players do best. And so this spring is going to give us a good evaluation to figure out what they do best. We're installing the offense this spring, but what we look like in the fall could be completely different once we get through, 7 or 8 practices and really grasp what our players do best.
Coach, Will Mallory said he feels confident he and the other tight ends are going to be involved in the offense. Can you say a little bit about the tight ends in your scheme, and also Will in particular, and Arroyo?
Yeah, I feel very confident they're going to be involved heavily. When you look at Will, I think Will has the ability to be a special player in this league. He can do a lot, not just in the run game, in the pass game, as well as in pass protection. And so that tight end room has been recruited really well. Coach Field has done a great job, developing those guys, recruiting those guys. You got Arroyo, and then obviously you bring in a freshman as talented as Jaleel Skinner. And so we've got some bodies. That is an impressive looking group in that tight end room. And so we got to put it all together, find all the pieces that we need offensively. But I will tell you this, they will be a big factor in what we do. And, the tight end position for us is like the Swiss Army knife, because we're asking those guys to do so much for us. And we're going to develop the complete tight end. And I think that's the thing that'll be a little bit different is asking those guys to be involved in the run game as much as in the pass game.
And since getting out here, getting a chance to see Tyler, Jake, and JaMarr kind of work in person, what have you thought of those 3 quarterbacks?
Yeah, they work extremely hard. They always got a positive attitude. They got great leadership. I saw those guys compete all winter conditioning through our 4th quarter program, just competing in everything that they can do. And so, that's first and foremost that you want out of your quarterback position. You want those guys to be leaders because everyone else is going to follow their leadership. And so they've done a tremendous job. Coach Ponce has done a really good job, coaching those guys and developing them. And I think that's unique. I love the situation that we have when you have a coordinator and a quarterback coach because you have someone full-time designated to develop in that position. And so, you won't pass Coach Ponce's office, and those guys are always sitting in there learning the offense, learning quarterback fundamentals. And that's the whole key, is how can we develop those guys individually to be the best quarterback they can possibly be.
And how does JaMarr look, compared to other, first semester freshmen that you've worked with?
Well, it's you got to remember he's a first semester freshman. So there's a lot on his plate, Up until probably about a few weeks ago, he just figured out where to go to class, And so now you're talking about learning a new system, learning a new offense. Obviously, he's got some talent physically. You look at him, and he's such a great kid, always got a smile on his face. He's got a great posture and body, and he's learning. He's doing a really good job. The hard thing in the spring is when you're going, we don't have as much depth from a team standpoint. So we have very little reps right now that are going to the 3s or to the 4s. And so, when you do have a Jake and a Tyler, you're trying to compete. You're trying to split as many reps as you can up for those guys. And so Jakari's doing a great job just buying in, taking the middle reps. If you look out there in the team reps, he's always 5 yards behind the starter, taking those reps as they go so he can continue to learn.
Last year, you went really deep in the playoffs last year to face the national champ. Did you learn anything from that experience that you could bring to the University of Miami?
Yeah, just, it was really kind of about the recruiting model. Because I thought last year the place that we were at, we had a very, very talented roster offensively and defensively. And then, once we got into, league play, it's kind of looked a little bit different in the playoffs. And so, and that's about recruitment, recruiting size, recruiting speed. I think it comes to no surprise when you see those guys from Georgia, what they did at the Combine, the type of players and the type of talent that they had. And, this is a very unique place because at the University of Miami, we can recruit like that too. We have the best football within a 15-mile radius here, and we've got to do a great job keeping the best players here at home. And so that was the key thing that we learned. And when you look at it, how many guys from South Florida that have been on those teams, or those national championship teams, whether that's Georgia or whether that's Alabama, we've got to take great pride in trying to keep those guys here at the University of Miami.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.